What is going on, you legends? Tonight's stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Yes, that's right, Raid Shadow Legends. So tonight they will be sponsoring our stream. This is a free-to-play game on PC and mobile. Top 3 RPG games actually on mobile at the moment with over 15 million downloads. There's more than 600 different champions to collect and customize. It's a free-to-play game, amazing graphics and all the gameplay you can think of. It's absolutely amazing. New champions every month. This thing gets updated regularly. So very, very good. If you click on any of the links in the description or in the little animation in the corner of the screen during the stream, you'll get free stuff. And if you use the code Raid Madness, a special promo code for new players only, you'll get some free stuff once you hit level 15. When you use the link, you get heaps of free stuff. You get a Grumbler, an epic champion, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So big shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring tonight's stream. And without further ado, let's get into it. Thanks, everyone.
It is. It's podcast day. We're excited. We're digging out there. What have we got? Ooh, yeah.
Dude, it's fucking podcast day.
Takes you back to that time of when you remember what you were doing when you first listened to that album, or
What is going on, you champions? That's right. Yes.
What up?
Podcast day. Two dudes talk music. Yes, and stew. I've been stewing on this shit all day.
What is going on?
Yes.
It's that time. Podcast time. Yeah, spill the beans, man. Spill the beans. We want it. We want this. The exclusive details.
We're live, baby.
Yeah,
We're live.
Yeah, we are.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. Mate, how you doing? How you doing? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. It's my favourite time of the week.
Yeah,
Podcast day.
it's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday Junior.
Friday Junior.
Friday
the
Junior, my
best.
favourite time of the week. That's it.
Dude,
I love it, man.
Seriously,
Doing good?
Dude, what's been happening? How's getting back into the flow of work and fucking all that
Yeah,
shit?
man, not too bad. Not too bad. I've been a bit sick this week, so I apologise if my voice gets a bit fucked towards the end of the stream. I've been just had a head cold, but yeah, no, I've been doing a bit of warehouse work, just picking orders and stuff at Berserk, so that's been fun.
And the new Skunkbone stuff?
Yeah, working on new Skunkbone stuff. We've been tracking drums and everything. We've decided what song we're going to record a cover of for the album, so that's pretty nice.
Good.
Not gonna spoil that one for people just yet. You'll have to wait until it comes out. But you know, we're starting to get things together. We've still got to do all the editing on the drums, but we've finished tracking the drums for just about everything.
Very
so we've got
good.
maybe a little bit more to go, but a little bit in terms of the cover and then the editing and everything. And then we can start on all the rest of the shit. But it's been good, man. And the Nuclear Vision, we've been putting the finishing touches on our new song as well for that. So discussing video clip ideas and all that good shit. We're
I can't
dropping that
wait
one
to
at,
see the Nuclear Vision video clip. I can only imagine the chaos that'll be ensued in that. It'll be unbelievable.
It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. I think we're dropping that one probably September sometime. We're playing a festival, so that'll probably line up with the release of that. Yeah, man. Let's. We've got to give a quick shout out as well to obviously Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring the stream.
Very good. If you
today.
have a look right in the
That's
middle of the
awesome.
screen, you can click on that little animation in there, and you can get all your links and all that cool shit.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, if you're interested, give it a click, see how you go. Helps us out, and I think you get some extra shit in the game for using our link or something.
Yeah, you
so
do.
that's wonderful. But yeah, mate, why don't we get to our guests?
Well, we got to, man, because I
We got
heard
some old friend. We got
it's an old friend,
today,
but
mate.
look, I finally listened to this track today, and I got to say, I was fucking blown away. And then when I messaged you about it, and you told me who was singing on it, I was just like doubly fucking blown away. Just took my face off, like shit.
Yeah, because this is for this particular singer, it's the first time he stepped out from behind the guitar and
Couldn't
done the vocals.
fucking
so
tell.
We're very, very impressed with that, mate. Let's get them on. We
Let's
got
do it.
Eric and Scotty from Small Gods. Boys,
How you going, boys?
how you doing?
Good, guys. How are you?
We're fantastic. I am.
We are good. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This is awesome. We're really excited to have you on here. And yeah, just like straight away, man, Eric, That fucking voice you've been hiding from us, man. You've been hiding
Wow,
that.
man. I should not have been singing in the Sterling Archers All Stars, judging by that performance out of Small Gods.
I'll tell you what, back then I wouldn't have been very good.
Yeah,
It's,
you're selling
yeah.
yourself short, mate.
Oh,
Just
look,
selling
it's
yourself
pretty new skill for me actually. It's sort of something I got into the last couple of years, and it was actually never something I intended to be fronting a band, but here we are.
And how have you
Wow.
found that kind of transition?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Like, I've sort of always seen vocalists as being like having the easy job, you know, no gear or anything to, you know, load into venues or anything like that. But yeah, it's completely different skill, and it's come with its own challenges.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, you know what that means, though? That means you got to move the merch. You got to lug the merch. It's your
Yeah, that's
responsibility. If you don't have gear, you got to do the merch, or you have to second your drummer and help them load it. That's the vocalist's responsibility. So, because
Oh,
drummers
you
always
show
have
up
it the
on time,
hardest. Oh yeah, you're that guy. Are you? You're that guy who's gonna show up like half an hour before you
Dog.
play, with your fucking little case like this big with your fucking golden microphone in it, and be all like, "All right, so when do we play?"
No, look,
Fuck
it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed the transition. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just come with its own challenges. Like, I never sort of realized the difficulty in writing lyrics until now. You know, I thought it was just poetry, but then when you got to fit it rhythmically into songs and make the whole thing come together, still make sense and still be connected to what you've written. Yeah, it's things like that has sort of been like, okay, yeah, I kind of underestimated, you know, how much actually goes into this side of things. But no, it's great. I'm loving it.
That's
And I actually
fantastic,
wanted to
man.
ask
And a
as
big
well-
shout out to Hale Timler for the follow.
Yes. Oh, yes. Much love for the follow there.
Welcome
I
to the
did
band.
want to ask, as someone that's come from, you know, from the guitar side and having another instrument into doing vocals, I actually wanted to ask about your process when it comes to writing lyrics and melodies there, right? Because I know some vocalists tend to write the lyrics first and then look for the melody later, whereas others tend to come up with the melody first and then try and find lyrics to fit in around that later. What was your process that came to that, and do you find that coming from another instrument as your musical background, do you think that influenced you in that regard at all, or how that kind of changed your process around that?
Yeah, so I'm definitely melody first. And I think that just does come from the musical background. Back in previous bands, you know, not only did I do guitar, but I did a lot of keyboard stuff as well. So I'd sort of already been in the habit of kind of working with melodies to write hooks and some catchy patterns and catchy lines. So for me, logically, the melody comes first, and then I can find the words to go with it. You know, because a lot of the time I'll hear the melody before I even know what I want to do lyrics about, and once that melody's there, I'll start putting random words down just with whatever's at the front of my head, and then eventually I'll start exploring the idea more. I might make some alterations to it. And before you know it, I got a song together. But yeah, the melody is just that's the bones for me.
It's such a good
Awesome.
approach to take.
Awesome.
I mean, it's so much. It is a lot harder when, because I used to do it the opposite way. I used to come up with my lyrics first and then try and fit it into the melody. But there's sometimes where you have that line and it only sits in your head the one way with the melody in your head. And if someone can't sort of hit that point or it doesn't fit right with the song, I used to get to the point where it was just like, I'm not going to use it now. Like I'm just going to rewrite the whole fucking song.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of like nothing much has changed because the melodies start on keyboard for me. Same way I used to do with other bands. I'll be writing that lead melody on the keyboard and then I'll just sing it. So, you know, it's just been performed differently to how I previously would have.
That's awesome. I love that approach.
I remember this first song went through 3 completely different versions from where it started, and then as the arrangement, because I kept changing the arrangement of the song as it was going along because I was never happy with it. So the vocals had to keep changing with it, and then Eric and I went through this whole back and forth of sending each other. Remember when I voice memoed the entire song, just going like, "Duh." Like what I thought your parts in certain sections should be? I was just going, "Duh, duh, duh," like the onomatopoeia of what your phrasing would be.
Yeah, I wish I
Hetfield
just
approach.
saved that and just, sample that into the recording somewhere.
It's in there. I've got it somewhere. It's so ridiculous, but Eric
Look,
made
hey,
it work.
you might say that's ridiculous, but I don't know if you've seen it or not. The making of Metallica's The Black Album DVD, they bring up the original vocal demos from Hetfield, and he's all doing one nas because again he does that melody first. So there's that's a process and it fucking works. It helps I think, and when you're approaching it from that angle, I think it definitely helps to come up with a melody that's going to stick in your head a bit more because it's a melody first approach rather than a lyric first, a lyric first approach.
Yeah, that's exactly the reference you made to the making of the Black Album is exactly where I got it from. And every vocalist most vocalists I know, and every band that I've worked with or am in do something like that. Everyone goes through that process because if you're trying to force lyrics into if you're trying to force it to be around the lyrics that aren't necessarily written to the song, a lot of the time it won't work, or it's not going to be organic or flow nicely. So you're better off following your intuition and just with Eric, for example, for another song we did, I didn't give him any warning. I was just like, go, just make noises, see what happens. And it works. The more comfortable, once you release the sort of, once you allow yourself to be exposed to making mistakes, Eric was steamrolling his way through it.
That's awesome. That's
I would
so
take
cool.
such a different approach writing lyrics now. I would probably go that approach of just hearing the song and coming up with the melody first, as opposed to having ridiculous amounts of books and stuff like that filled with lyrics and then trying to siphon through and pick parts that'll fit best. Because you're right, it's not organic. It's you're picking it more apart as a structure rather than coming up with a melody and then finding the words to fit to that melody at the time.
Exactly. And the melodies that you come up with and start finalizing will often dictate, or at least start to dictate, what the lyrics could be. And then your brain, well, I'm sure Eric would agree with this, it's your brain starts ticking over and that's what gets the song going.
Well, I guess it's
A lot of the time I'll find once I have that first line down at the chorus or a verse or something like that, the rest just flows. I only need that one really strong, powerful line in a song to really set the tone in the lyrical direction. And, there's been times where I might have written, say, a chorus, I'm not happy with it, and I can't get beyond that writer's block of not knowing where to take the lyrics after that. And then I might scrap it, do something new, and it might just be that thing that unlocks everything. And next thing you know, the verses come together and the whole song's sort of done in the space of an hour. It's not, I think, on the next track we released that we've just recorded, there was very much a case of that song had sat on the back burner for well over a year at least. We'd sort of written it quite some time ago, and I had these lyrics, I had this theme for the song that I just really wasn't connected with, and a lot of the ideas of where they were kind of forced. But then, I thought, screw it, I'm just going to start from scratch again, and started with a new melody, new lyrics, and within a night, the whole thing had come together. And by the time it actually got to the studio to be recorded, there was not a lot that really needed to be altered. A lot of it was maybe sort of tweaked here and there, but it sort of really just goes to show that once you have something there that you can really connect with and gel with, the quality of what you put out just goes up much higher.
And speaking of connecting with it, there's something else about the change from being on guitar to being a vocalist. Are you finding that you're connecting with the songs in a different way now that it's your lyrics, you're kind of like the face and the voice of the band? Are you finding that these songs are more emotionally impactful for you to write and perform, that you're feeling more of that emotional connection with those works now?
Yeah, absolutely. Previously when I was sort of just writing guitar parts, I was really, what I was creating was a canvas, and I kind of, to previous vocalists I'd worked with, I said, this is the canvas, I want you to paint on it. And now I've become the painter. And it is cool because, I am connecting it with a different way, but I think what's been the biggest adjustment there is that back in the previous band, like the Arbitrary Method, I was doing, I'd say probably 80% of the writing. of the music, and I've now sort of stepped back to say I maybe do about 10% of the writing of the music, maybe a little guitar piece here and there. So yeah, that's another reason why I'm sort of connecting with these songs differently, because my contribution to it has become very different. I've had to take a step back from that songwriting and, you know, come up with that new way to contribute to it and still pull my weight and still have my imprint on that song. And yeah, it's definitely a different feeling looking back at the songs where I've done the lyrics for, and having that different connection. You know, it's gone from like, oh yeah, look at this little thing I created, to now look at this story that I told, and look at this, you know, like idea or concept that I put out, or this thing from up here that I was able to reconcile by putting it out into this medium.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at your.
Yeah, I was laughing at the
your
comments.
story there. I was laughing at the comments in the chat.
Oh.
Hail Timler in the chat said, "I personally choose to believe that the power and inspiration comes from that glorious 1800s pioneer moustache that Eric is rocking." So, sorry, I wasn't meaning to. That was beautiful story about how you're connecting with the music. And then
I'm ashamed to admit that I know who wrote that one as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not the least bit surprised. And frankly, that's pretty tame compared to what he can do as well. So I'm glad he's behaving himself tonight.
Really?
Dear. Well, I mean, look, yeah, we appreciate the chat. We appreciate the chat, so please do get in. Oh, big thank you to Squeaky666 for the subscription for 1 month. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. We love you for that. And yes, sorry, Kyle, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Go
now
ahead.
Coming from that lyrics, like being the painter now, like the front man, the singer, and being able to play guitar as well as what you do, has there ever been sort of a thought in your mind where it's like, oh, I really want to use this, the melody isn't quite working? Have you ever sort of sneakily written something to sort of just make it work for your lyrics? Have you sort of gone down that prospect of like, no, I really want to have this vocal line here, I need to write something for it?
Not currently, I don't think. But I mean, I guess I'm sort of feel like I'm pretty adaptable. Like I can work with whatever's there, generally. So I think this is for me, and it's also for the whole band with the way we approach these songs. Like every decision we make with the writing process is about doing what serves the song best as a whole. It's not about one person being like, no, this must emphasize the vocals, this must emphasize the guitar. Everything is sort of written in a way that it comes together and complements and supports each other. So, you know, it's sort of like, it always comes to a case of everyone putting their egos aside and being like, okay, yeah, I had this really cool idea for a vocal melody here, but if it's not working, and if the idea is, or the consensus is that we don't want to change that because that's a really good riff, then yeah, I'll happily adjust the vocals around that to make it work. You know, at the end of the day, like and Scotty can elaborate more on this because a lot of this sort of fine tuning of the songwriting is sort of where his expertise is, but the idea is always do what serves the song best.
That's a fantastic approach. I mean, that, and the fact that you can put your ego aside and not sort of have that impact of, no, I'm going to do what I want here. That's a very good approach that you've taken, that massive step back, because it would be so easy for you to just be able to go, okay, I want this here, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, like, but here's the thing, right? I mean, for those who may not know, Eric's been through the trenches with a couple of different bands over the years. He's been through it all. He's dealt with the ups and downs of it, and the egos that comes with being in bands with some people. So, like, you know, and so Eric's not going to put him in a place where, put himself in a position where he's going to deal with that stuff. Yeah, he's not. He knows he doesn't have to take the shit. So it's awesome that you've surrounded yourself with a group of people that everyone's on the same page. Everyone has the same goals and is, you know, willing to, you know, as you say, do what serves the song best.
I think that's the interesting thing about this band as well. Like, we're not a group of people who have sort of met each other through this band. We have all had friendships that's extended well past 10 years before this was even conceived.
Wow.
And that's with everyone in this band. So Scotty has been one of my lifelong friends as well. I was best man at his wedding, and he'll hopefully be best man at mine if I ever get to that stage. you know, and
I'm going to be
Steve-O
the
knows-
celebrant at your wedding, you dog.
That's right. Yeah, you do it. Of course. I know. I kind of wanted to do both. But you know, Steve-O, the bassist, and Steve-O's the one who sort of does a lot of the bass level songwriting. We'll put the riffs together and put something together that we can work with and build upon. Steve-O's been one of my friends since I finished high school. He was actually originally the bassist for the Arbitrary Method, my previous band, before Stoya joined. So the guitarist Dan, I also known him for the similar amount of time through Steve-O. So everyone in this band, we've been friends long before this band was a thing. I think that's what lets us put the egos aside, is that, you know, if there's disagreements, there's more than just a band relationship on the line. Like, it's mateships that have been going for years and years and years. So I think that makes it all easier to have difficult conversations and communicate with each other, but it all, you know, it does make us a bit better at resolving things and sorting things out, because it's like, hey, we all know each other, we know what each other's like, we know each other pretty well, so we can always understand where each other's coming from. And yeah, it's a different approach, you know. Like, it's almost like that relationship where you've been like best friends with this girl for so long, and you suddenly just get into a relationship together. It just magically works, you know. Like, it is. It's so much better. I love doing it this way, just with how much better everything flows.
Mate, you can,
That's
you can
awesome.
see it shining off you. I'm going to read some comments real quick. A big shout out to Michaela Mayhem for follow, and I think that's Zach Extafa. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the family. Squeaky666, I finally popped in. Ha ha ha. This runs on my D&D night, so I came out for a break to check you all out. Thank you so much for taking the time. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Hal Timler has said, I have to say, it's been an incredible journey for you to where
you're at as the lead singer.
Yeah, I met you when you were an Italian plumber fighting turtles, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you and your progress, Eric.
Oh my god, this is going to be a good one. I think this is going to be a good stream with that. Keep him coming to me.
This is fantastic.
Don't encourage him.
So let's kind of go back a little bit. Let's rewind slightly, and you know, because you've mentioned your previous band a couple of times here, the Arbitrary Method. For those who may not know, let's just give us a brief history of, you know, Arbitrary Method, what that band did, and also, I mean, I know, were you involved in? You were playing guitar for Nouveau for a while too, weren't you?
Yeah, I did a couple of fill-in shows when they had a lineup change. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 shows that I did.
Might have been, I think, because I know I played on at least one of those with you.
Yes. Yeah, I think there's the Australia Day one from memory. Yeah. So there's that. I've actually had my hand in a couple of things over the years as well. I think I did about 8 or so months with Lycanthrope as well for a while. Around the same time, the Stoya joined, and I didn't stick on with that. For various reasons, but yeah, I've had my hands in a few things, but Arbitrary Method around them was always like priority number 1 for me.
And what about you, Scotty? What's some of your musical history, just so that the people might might get to know you a little better? Oh, are you there?
Did you hear that, Scotty?
Hang on, sorry, but I'm having connection problems.
Okay.
I just noticed
Terribly sorry.
everything's starting to drop out.
We're asking about your musical history.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I've been playing in bands all around Sydney since I was like 18 or 19. I started off in I'm not from there, but I started off in bands in the Western Sydney hardcore scene. And then I sort of dropped out of that to go to AIM, Australian Institute of Music, and where I thought I was suddenly too good for all that stuff because I started learning funk and jazz and became a wanker. And then towards the end of that, I got back into it, and suddenly being able to understand, all these noises that were, I was hearing all around me, and the stuff I was trying to make was really, really beneficial. And yeah, I've just been in a whole bunch of bands. At the moment, I play in Bare Bones. I've been with them for about 5 years now, and I've been able to do some bonkers stuff with them. We're in the middle of doing an EP at the moment. I am in another band called Junkhead that's been going a little bit longer than that.
Oh dear.
It's frozen. Junk.
And oh no,
No, you're back.
Connection issues
You're
again.
back.
one sec.
So
Oh,
Junkhead.
yeah, so it's Junkhead, Barebones, they're the main two, and then I joined Small Gods shortly before they released their first song properly, because I'd been sort of ghostwriting and producing bands for 2 or 3 years now, like doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and then I've been like doing stuff with Eric here and there for probably like 5 or 6 years. Like he's always sent me demos for like multiple bands. Like, what do you think of this? And I'll be like, well, what if it's like this? And like chopping up his demos and sliding things around and all that kind of stuff. And that progressed, and he went through like multiple iterations of this project to the point where Steve-O came in on it and took over more of the writing. And I think Steve-O's way of approaching guitar is a bit more aligned to what I hear. And Eric was taking more of an interest in vocals anyway. So basically, I was like an unofficial fourth member of the band for the longest time anyway. And then I ended up realizing I was putting so much time and effort in, I may as well just join. Like, because I was really, really enjoying and was personally attached to the stuff we were writing. Because there's so much of, like, compared to a lot of other clients and bands I've worked with, like, there's so much of my own personality in what's ended up coming out in these songs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good personality.
Yeah.
The song's fantastic. Like, I can't get.
It's amazing. It's
I'm
an
not gonna-
incredible
like,
song.
I had no idea I was speaking you tonight, Eric. I had no idea. I've been
So
so,
2 weeks you've known and you didn't even
I've
tell
been
him,
so
Dan.
busy.
I told him. I fucking told him.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my fault if he doesn't go
Yeah.
and listen to this shit.
I'll listen to it. Just I like to find out who's in it when I'm in it. Like, you know, the song, bro. I sent Raph a message straight away. I'm like, dude, is this their first track? Fuck.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck? This is your first track. Like, normally you gotta do shit. That's
But this is the thing, right? Like, this is the thing we see so often as well. Like, for people, the way that, the entry-level technology is becoming a lot better. And the mid-range stuff is becoming more accessible. Like, the price point to get into, like, mid-tier quality stuff is coming down as well. So, people with even a basic amount of knowledge are able to get in there and put together decent sounding stuff. And when you've got people that have been working on stuff for as long as you guys have, maybe not necessarily as the collective, but on your individual journeys, bringing all that experience together, you're going to be able to put out a strong first product, first entry there. And I mean, not only the song itself, but the visuals behind everything with the band, from things like the logos and the visualizer for the song and the lyric video and everything you guys have done. It's all very, very like clean and precise, and it looks very well considered. And it's just all very, very clean and really well
there was
done.
no amateur
And
hour shit in any part of that. It was just professionally done. It was just really, really, really well done. I'm gonna read some comments. Hail Timler said, "Bro, you're forgetting the Fleetwood Mac cover bands you did, Stevie Nicks and the Fleetwoods."
Fuck off, dude.
What?
And of course, I mean, we also can't forget to mention, for those who were around in 2015, we did kind of joke about this. Eric was also in the Sterling Archer All Stars at the Heavy Metal United show, where Kyle and I and Tony and Aaron played together. So that was a lot of fun.
That was awesome. And then we got
That was
fun
an
fact.
amazing
Scotty is actually famous in Japan. He's known as the Emperor Funk Machine.
No, that's not me.
What? Oh, Hey, Stoya. How good's that? Come back to a Scotty. He's got boys came out of the gates firing. Phobos is a banger. It is.
Yeah, Stoya.
Yes,
It is.
Stoya.
It is.
Much,
It
much
is.
love to Stoya. Thank you for tuning in, my brother.
Stoya's had his own footprint on this too. Stoya actually did all our logos and graphic design and the lyric videos.
Oh,
lovely.
He's part of the reason why we sort of come together looking really good as well. And
Lovely.
not just that, he's always been a huge supporter of everything we've done. And
Yes. While we got you here, Stoya, I also want to say, like
Congrats.
that fucking cover art, that new lycanthrope shit. The fucking EP is a banger. The cover
it
art
is.
is fucking amazing. Like
Really
everything
well
about
done.
that's fucking really, really good. So shout out. We'll have to get you boys on to talk about that too.
And then Harold Tim Larusrani, one more has gone. Phobos is my favourite avant-grande French synthwave album.
he's on fire tonight.
my
He's
God.
just
He's-
massive.
He's coming in. He must be a few drinks deep. So
Cheers, bro.
something I did want to bring up. It's a bit of a touchy subject, so I will say, content warning for certain topics. We're just going to discuss the lyrics of this song. It's pretty clear what the song's about. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that? Is that something that's come from like a kind of direct personal experience? If you're okay talking about that, or is it more of a
absolutely.
general
I'm happy to
like
talk about it.
general kind of life experience there? Let's just give for the people, break that down a little bit.
Yeah, so the the lyrical content behind this song is it's sort of me unpacking and reconciling with the death of one of my best mates back when I was around 19, 20. He sadly took his own life, had struggled with quite a lot of stuff in his years growing up. So yeah, the song became a good opportunity for me to really just sort of unpack all the things I kind of felt during, after, and before. And yeah, so it is quite heavy. And I think it was never, this song was never really written to be a first release. It just happened to be the one that we're able to put together first. So, it really has come out of the gates as like really heavy subject matter. But yeah, like it's I think anyone who's lost a friend to suicide can probably relate to a lot of the lyrics there. I know when we sort of put the lyric video out, there was a comment made on someone who shared along the lines of, these are kind of words that can only be written by someone who has been there, and yeah, like that's where it's come from. It's sort of like, the name of the song itself. It's about the moon Phobos in, the moon of Mars, and it's on a degrading orbit. So essentially, that orbit's getting smaller and smaller to the point it's going to eventually just crash into Mars or burn up in the atmosphere or whatever. And the song name sort of came after reading an article about that when we were actually in the studio recording, and it seemed such a fitting analogy because I remember being back in those days, seeing the stuff that my friend was going through and seeing him on that trajectory slowly disintegrating into that point where he took his own life, and feeling like there was nothing I could do to stop it despite trying everything I could. And that's sort of like where the line comes, I tried to save you, and I did. I tried everything that I possibly could, and yeah, it's to go through that experience, it really fucks with you because afterwards, you sit there thinking, did I do enough? Could I have done more? And it took years. It took years to get to the point where I was like, you know what? I genuinely did everything that I possibly could. There was nothing else that I could have done. And that he was just on that trajectory. And whether it was me, whether it was his family or someone else, there wasn't anything anyone could do to stop him. Yeah, that's in a nutshell what the song's about.
It's some deep shit. I mean, and unpacking that in a song, and this is what we talk about so many times on the podcast, how music is therapy in a way where you can actually sort of gain some closure on some things once you can express it properly. But sort of going into it now sort of from a life perspective, now that you sort of unpacked it, sort of giving yourself that closure, is it something that you sort of want to keep singing about? Because I've spoken to some singers and I think they have some really good songs and they don't play them live anymore because they just don't want to bring it up anymore.
No, you know what, I'm I'm pretty keen to keep singing it. Like, I think the message is important. I think it's one of those things that, um, if someone hears it, has been through something similar, and it helps them not feel alone, knowing that someone else out there has been through the same kind of thing. I think that's important. And I think, once it's written, it's not something else I want to put off in a cupboard somewhere and never touch again. Like, it's just too important.
Okay, that's yeah. Look, we have put the number in the chat. If you or someone you know is experiencing thoughts of self-harm, please call Lifeline. We've put the number in the chat there. Reach out to people because it's really important, because the people that care about you, and they no matter what you might feel, people do care about you. Please do reach out, because the world's a better place with you in it.
Yeah, man. There's always a table to sit at, and our table's always open.
And,
absolutely. Hal Timler has said, for a change, here's a serious comment. When I heard it, I could hear that it was venting of something that simply hadn't been before. Props to you for finding a way to express it.
Thanks, Tim.
It's yeah. I mean, look, we have, most of us, if we've been around a while, we have kind of known people that we've lost to suicide, and it's never an easy thing to process. So, hopefully, recording this song and performing it allows you to continue to process and
help
work
someone
through
else.
that, and help someone else, because it is important that these things are, as difficult as they are to talk about, not talking about them does a lot of damage. And so let's
I
try
think,
and sorry,
so
go
I
on.
was just going to say as well, I think for me, like, what having this song out now, it was kind of like the final chapter in that book, and it's something that I can look back and be, look, that's something that I created in his memory, and
That's really good, man. I love that.
That's awesome.
That's
It's a great song, and
it is. You came
you
right.
should be-
come screaming out the gate.
yeah, you should be proud of that song as a first one. It's it deals with a heavy topic in a about the best way that you can, and
And it's just a beautiful song too. The way you sing it, just the guitar work in it, well produced. Everything's just.
thanks,
So-
guys. I appreciate that.
you mentioned that you guys have got another. You've been working on obviously some more songs as well. Is there something like soon-ish, or like where are you guys sitting with
Hopefully.
the next stuff?
We've just started kicking wheels into motion on things on that front. The next single, it's recorded, it's ready to go. So we're just going to put all the content together for it now, just to get ready to release. No release date set yet. I'm sure, as you guys know in the industry, it just depends on how long certain things get back to us, but it is on the way. And I think it's pretty safe to say before the end of the year, we'll have the next one out. It'll be bigger, better, more content behind it, maybe a video clip, we'll see. But yeah, the wheels are in motion, and there will be something out soon.
How are you finding that now? Like, obviously, when arbitrary method was around, the social media thing wasn't quite as like forefronted in the industry, especially the local one. Now, getting back into it, how are you finding this whole disparity? Like, when you release a song, there needs to be a buttload of content. You need to be a marketing mogul and a fucking Facebook and social media genius. How are you finding it in that sort of massive gap?
Dude, as someone who's been out of it for 6 years now, since my last, since we played the last show with Arbitrary Method, or probably 7 years now, that was probably the biggest culture shock, is coming back to that side of things and seeing how much it changed and how differently it's all being done. There's even more of a formula behind it now than what there was previously. But the plus side is, I think a lot of stuff's actually more accessible now than what it was. It's different, but I reckon it's better.
I guess because you sort of saw it from the old, and now you're looking at it for the new. It's like it was so much harder back then. Look how easy this is. It's all there.
It is easier to get your music onto these platforms for sure. That's definitely something. I mean, we've had many conversations on this podcast about how social media algorithms can make it difficult for musicians, and you have to have basically a degree in social media to try and decipher it and get the most out of it. But that's We don't need to necessarily go into that again, but it is
Yeah.
definitely a challenge. It is
Oh, yeah.
definitely a challenge, and it's a new landscape. Being out of it for like that. So are you guys? Obviously, this has only been there's not been any gigs just yet. Is that something you guys are looking at? Are you planning to just keep it as a studio only thing? Where are things happening with that?
I think, like, for the time being, we're just trying to work on getting a solid bunch of songs behind us first.
Mhm.
And I think we're probably looking at moving into going live next year, just when all of us are a bit more available. None of us live near each other. So me and the guitarist are down in Sydney. We're 5 minutes away from each other. But then Eric's up the coast, and then Steve-O is up in...
What's up the coast?
Yeah, he's up in
Just,
Newey.
just a bit further, yeah.
Yeah. So, we're still working on the whole, like, where the middle ground would possibly be. But, like, working on songs remotely, that's no problem at all. Like, I wasn't even in the country for any of the recording sessions that they did. But, like, I was still able to work on everything from wherever I was.
Man, the internet is so cool.
We actually
That's what
do
it's
very
meant to
little
be.
face-to-face.
This is what
Yeah.
it's meant to be used for. For shit like that.
Yeah. We never did a writing session face-to-face except for pretty much the very first writing session for this iteration of the band, when Eric wasn't even the singer yet. He was still you were definitely taking vocal lessons already, but the old vocalist was there.
Yeah, there was never the intent to have me on vocals, funnily enough. Like, Scotty and I are both the same, that we've kind of found ourselves in the position that we're in now. Not, the positions we're in was never ones we intended to be in. We just kind of happened to find ourselves here by pure chance, really.
Yeah, serendipity.
Hey, well, the universe works in mysterious ways. I don't know if there's anything out there, but shit, sometimes when things happen, you're just like, well, just pick up the ball and run with it.
On that front, how are you performative wise without a guitar in your hands? Because I know that's something that a lot of instrumentalists will struggle with if they would perform without an instrument. They use their instrument as part of their performance. When that's taken away, I've seen some of the most charismatic and entertaining guitarists become very shy and withdrawn when they don't have a guitar in their hands and they have to sing.
Matt Heafy.
I guess we might have to answer that question next year when we get the live shows, I think. No, like it's something that's sort of been the forefront of my mind a little bit. Now we're talking and having a bit more discussion about going to live shows next year. So, my thing at the moment is when I'm doing my practice at home, I've got my little SM58. I'll hold that in my hand and try and practice as if I would be doing it live, to get comfortable with the mic in my hand, comfortable to, being in that performance mindset and not having an instrument in my hand like I normally would. So just trying to make that being outside my comfort zone, my new comfort zone. But I think the real test would be when I do it in the rehearsal space with the rest of the guys, and then even more so when I do it in a room full of people. So, I'm kind of... Sorry?
Just keep moving.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Just keep moving. The more you move, the more people move.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just, for me, it's like, just do what feels comfortable and natural.
That's
Don't
it,
try
man.
and, but we'll see. Obviously that's a skill that's going to come with time to build upon.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We're
I
going
mean,
to have
you know,
to
you can always-
read
You can
some
always
comments.
use the old trick of making the microphone stand part of your.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Do that.
Most
man.
vocalists I do
100%.
at least start off that way.
You know what you should do? What, like I used to like doing is if you got people doing backup vocals, move around to their microphones if you want.
Oh yeah.
You got room. Just leave your mic there. Go over to their one. Have a muck around. Just enjoy yourself.
So this is what I need. I need a Coach Kyle.
I'll do it. Oh, I'd love to do it.
Two Dudes Talk Music will gladly rent out Kyle's services as a performance
shit,
coach
yeah.
for $500 an hour. Thank
Shit,
you
yeah.
very much.
Whoa!
I wouldn't go that far. But
Mate,
yeah,
we've got to make money somehow.
I
Jesus.
do. I'm gonna
500 bit
start.
of
I'm gonna start a Beer
premium
Buddies OnlyFans. Just
Yeah.
try and
No,
just
no,
try.
I'd pay 500 for
That's
that.
where he pays. He sends you nudes until you pay him to stop.
Nah. I was talking about this last night with the boys. I thought, you know what my OnlyFans will be? I'll set a can at the other end of the room, and try and aim and hit it.
Oh my god! Read the fucking comments.
I will.
you
I will.
perv.
I'd like to
Jesus.
suggest. I'd like to suggest a title based on my knowledge of Eric. Bussy Basher and the Mountains of Madness. Really wish Eric would come and create content up in Brisbane. Get up to Brisbane, mate. Eric's not much of a stranger to doing things hands-free. He's good. Timler, you're on fire, mate. You're on fire. Michaela Mayheb, I'd personally like to volunteer to be Eric's microphone stand. We got Stoygo bands be more content creators and musicians in 2023.
Yes.
And you're dead
It's
right
unfortunate, Stoya, but that is the reality of things. It
there. I would
is the
also like
reality
to
of
make a
things.
volunteer as tribute. I even come with a tripod.
Wow.
That was
Everyone
Timler.
in the chat's
That was
going
Timler.
crazy today.
Yes,
We
this
got-
is great. I love this shit. This is
Well, joke's on them because that's my role in the band. I'm the mic stand.
He is.
Yeah, he does yoga and he goes into downward dog and holds it in his butt.
oh.
Oh, there's a certain position that I know Eric's very good at.
Oh god.
Oh my god!
Wait,
Alright,
wait.
mate.
It's a
It's after 9 o'clock. It's cool.
yeah.
It's adults only time now. We can.
Hey, this we never market this for kids. Kids, if you're watching this, your parents fucked up.
That's true. That's true. This is not a child-friendly podcast. We have never claimed to be. Oh my god! All right. Well, why don't we get into the quick question quarter? I think it might be time.
Let's hit the cutaway.
Might be time. Hit the cutaway.
Let's do it.
To know you, getting to know all about
All right. Now, Helpful is coming with another comment. While we're going, he's going. We call that the Marrickville hot dog. I don't know exactly what you're referring to there, but I'm sure it was. I'm sure it'd be entertaining. Okay, so
I feel
quick,
like Tim's just like throwing shit at a wall till something sticks right now.
probably.
The
Probably.
Marrickville hot
Okay.
dog.
So, for those who are new to the podcast, this is the quick question quarter, spelt with Q's, not K's, because we don't roll like that. And this is basically just a get to know you segment where we talk to our guests and we ask them a bunch of rapid fire questions to get to understand a little bit more about them, their musical histories, how their minds work, thinking about music, that sort of stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into the questions. Gentlemen, what was the first instrument that you learnt to play, excluding like recorder or triangle at school?
Bass
Drums.
guitar.
What was that? Did you say bass guitar? Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
Nice. And Scotty, yours was drums, was it?
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. What was the first album that you ever purchased, or that you asked to be purchased? Like, so not like Wiggles or shit that your parents bought for you. But
I think mine was Enema of the State.
Nice.
Good choice.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We haven't had that one yet. I think that
I
is
don't
a
think
first.
we have.
That is a first.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Man, I'm not even ashamed of mine. It was the Blue Double D by Alpha
Ah.
65.
We've had that one before.
Nice. Yep. Yep. That one has
Harmless.
come up. And might I
Wait,
say
does that
as well?
count? That's a single. That's not an album.
Oh, whatever, I
we'll-
think it was the album that was on. It was definitely the album.
We'll
I can't
count it.
remember
We'll
the name
count
of
it. I do.
Yeah.
I do have to say though. Over the last few years, there's been a rash of songs that have used that melody, and
Mhm.
I'm not a fan. I'm not
No.
a fan.
You've ruined the song. already.
Increasingly more terrible.
Yeah. What was the first live concert that you attended?
Proper concert was Green Day.
Nice. Which one?
American Idiot, their second tour here with My Chemical Romance's first Australian performance, and Jimmy Eat World. It was
that
Wait a
SCG.
insane. Yes.
Yes, I was at that one.
Mad. Yeah, I was in the idiot zone. It was insane.
Yes. The
Ah.
sound of the SCG is shit. Fuck, it's bad.
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. All the sound flew straight, like,
It
because
just
I was right up front,
bounces.
goes straight over your head. Yeah.
And
Bad
mine
SCG.
was Mudvayne at the Roundhouse.
Whoa!
You lucky bastard.
I've never
Lucky
seen them
bastard. I
live.
never got to see them live.
It was pretty good.
Damn.
Roundhouse
Oh, that's a
2,
good one.
fuck, that would have been a heck.
Was that okay? Is that why your first instrument was bass? Did you like pick up a bass thinking you were going to be able to play it like Ryan?
No, actually, I'd sort of already transitioned over to guitar by that point.
Okay, fair enough.
That's a mad first show. That I'm so jelly.
Yeah.
It was
What
good.
is that? What is an instrument you've always wanted to learn but haven't had the opportunity to yet?
Ooh. I would love to actually know how to play cello.
Ooh.
That's good. I did have a cello for a while. It's the no frets thing is really challenging.
Yeah.
And like not having any markers. Like if you're gonna do it, I would suggest either finding one with markers, like
Yeah.
or putting markers on there, in like tape. Put markers on there
Yeah.
to help you out because the note positioning is so fucking like it's so obviously sensitive because you don't have frets to like
Of course, yeah.
make it easier. So, yeah, I've had one for a while. It's definitely a challenge.
We got Stoya
challenging
asking if
instrument
the
to pick up.
Mudvayne live was that lost and found error.
No, it would have been. Oh, hang on. Potentially. It was either then or the album they did before that. I think there was the End of All Things to Come. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that.
It was a
might
long
be-
time ago. I
Yeah.
can't really remember, but it would have been around maybe, possibly, yeah.
I like that.
Nice.
Cello.
And what was your instrument you've always wanted to learn, Eric?
Oh, man, this one kind of threw me because until 2.5 years ago, vocals was the one that I kind of wanted to do but never did. But,
Mhm.
yeah, just thinking about it now, I kind of think either I would love to do something just really obscure, like some kind of traditional folk instrument that barely anyone knows about what that is. I don't know, but I reckon it'd be cool to
Banjo.
have a weird instrument like that,
I'd
you know,
love
that you
to
can
see
just
you
throw
on
into a song
banjo.
somewhere.
Skin flute.
I think look at the moustache, mate. He's already great at playing.
He's already there, yeah.
I just the mention of skin flutes. That's just going to invite Tim to put something rancid in the
I
comments.
was waiting for it.
That's what I was hoping for.
I'm literally waiting for it. I'm just sitting here, look at the comments going, come on, Tim.
So if you could, all right, next one. If you could pick any like one big band or artist to open a show for, now we'll caveat this. This is living or dead, active or not, any era that you want. One big band or artist to open a show for, who would it be?
Electric Callboy.
Oh, geez.
That's a big one at the moment. That's a real big one at the moment because Buzz said that last week.
Wow, what's going on here?
Or Rammstein.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They're my two. The German guys. Love them.
And Hal Timler has just said to be honest, it would be too easy.
That implies he has standards.
Just like Eric is.
For me, I think probably Enter Shikari.
What do you reckon of the new album?
Believe it or not, I actually didn't get around to listening to all of that one yet. I don't know what it is.
Dude.
Yeah, it's a
My kids
I've heard about
love it. My 2 and 5-year-old, they know
Yeah.
all the words to "Please Set Me on Fire."
yeah.
They fucking love that song, and they're just obsessed with the rest of it. They just
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's one of those things. Like I saw them live at the end of last year, which was awesome. I just don't know. I have just been too caught up in my own musical stuff to pay too much attention to anyone else's at the moment, which I know probably isn't the best. Like so many of my favorite bands have released stuff, and I'm just like like until my head's a bit more clear, I don't want to be listening to it. Exactly. Yeah.
It gives you time now. Once you're kind of in a space to listen to stuff again, you got lots of options to listen to. So
Exactly.
that's pretty cool.
Journey.
Timmy in the chat again. I have standards. Eric just doesn't meet them unless he's waxed.
He's pretty
What
hairless.
Surprising. I'm sad to say I kind of know that.
A lot of people
What
do.
what is something that people may be surprised to learn about you? Yeah, they start to get a bit hairy near the end here, guys.
Yeah.
So unlike Eric, um,
This is as hairy as it gets.
yep. That's why you only got it there, right?
Yeah.
You can't get it in here.
The curtains don't match the drapes.
No, you go downstairs and he's just got like a little handlebar over the top of it. Oh wow! All right, we are totally not getting that. We are totally not getting that sponsorship money.
Worth it.
Yeah, totally. Hopefully they don't get this far into the video.
Yeah, right. Let's hope they yeah. Anyway, yeah. What is something people may be surprised to learn about you?
I think trains are sick. I love trains. I'd love to have a model train set.
Oh, mad! You're a train guy.
I'm a train guy.
That's mad.
That's his retirement project.
Yeah.
Convert the studio into a train room.
Mate, I'd convert the whole house. Studio isn't big enough.
Coming into the station. Wood.
Pretty sure I've heard Tim say that at one point as well.
Yeah, we just said, trust me. What did he say? He just goes, trust me, he's plenty hairy. There's a reason he's called the hairy cyclone at my house.
And then you got trains. That explains the Thomas the Tank Engine theme you insist on playing during. Oh my god.
I thought it was only me.
Oh.
It's the Eric calling card.
This guy's in top 10. This easy goes in top
Yeah.
10 streams.
Absolutely. This is great. I knew this was going to be a good one.
Oh,
Yeah, Scotty, what's something
Yeah.
that people may be surprised to learn about you?
I mean, this probably doesn't mean because I've only met you tonight, but for people that actually know me, I don't watch Jurassic Park every day. I think Eric might know more about that one.
you don't watch
Yeah.
Jurassic Park every day.
So you know how Eric feels a certain way about trains?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I've got a Jurassic Park sleeve. It's this one.
Oh wow.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So you're a dinosaur nerd.
I mean, I was when I was a kid. Like, I like the movies now. I just like more like the visuals nowadays. But at my wedding, there was like the Jurassic Park theme got incorporated into the processional, and my wife like used Jurassic Park quotes in her vows. So I always wonder like if people just think I like surround myself in some kind of Jurassic Park throne like shrine every day.
Now
Which
I
is
think
only
you're
half
lying to
true.
me. I think.
Look,
you're
I have to
lying.
hide it. I've got a massive banner.
Do you have a
stuff
dinosaur?
like,
Do you have a dinosaur hiding somewhere?
oh god, I wish.
You got one of the inflatable costumes, like the T-Rex. with the
Oh, the first house party I ever went at Eric's, one of his friends who now lives in Japan showed up in one of those half dinosaur costumes.
Dinosaur rider costume?
Yeah. And I've got a photo of it somewhere in the archives, and I've never laughed so hard. Like, I was in tears for 10 minutes. I'd never met the guy before, and he just walks in with no context. And
Oh god.
oh my god, it was
You guys
amazing.
probably know him. You guys probably know who it is as well. Andrew Craig.
Oh my god.
God.
Yeah. This is like 10 years ago. Never met the guy before. Barely even knew Eric at that.
Oh,
Like, first
God.
time being at his house, first time being at a party, meeting a lot of his friends. And just no context, this guy just walks in and just stands there staring at everyone, and just, yeah, everyone's gone.
Yep. That's that definitely sounds like Andrew.
Yeah.
alright.
It wasn't a costume party.
No,
it was.
he just
No.
showed up.
It was just a Tuesday.
I definitely remember being in costume for that one.
What's it? What was the?
Oh my god.
Okay. Hold
Okay.
on. Scotty's the same. He just prefers the T-Pay cover of it. I'm assuming that's the Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, Sir Topham Hat.
I found him on Grindr.
called Sir
Called him
Topham
Sir
Hat.
Topham Hat.
Oh Jesus, this is going off the right. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. What is the? I love this one, and you guys have been around for a little while, so you probably have some good ones. What is the cringiest band name or song name that you've ever been involved with?
The arbitrary method.
Oh,
You weren't involved in it.
Oh, that I've been involved in? Oh,
Yes.
my first band, When Forever Meets Never.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wow. That's edgy and deep and all the things rolled into one.
Oh, it was like
I'm sorry, Michaela Mayhem. I'm sorry that you got blue balled by an ad break. But if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can subscribe to us, and no ad breaks will come up for you no more.
Yeah, if you subscribe
Oh,
rather than
that
just
was
follow,
shit.
you get out of those you get out the ad breaks and you get all the good stuff. You get all the good stuff. All right, so yeah, so that's a pretty good one. I like that. Eric, come on, time to fess up.
Zombie eats
What
shark.
what arbitrary method
Whoa,
song was
whoa.
the most?
Did you just say zombie eat shark?
Yep.
Fuck.
oh, wow, I didn't know about this one.
That was the original name for the arbitrary method. When it had a completely different lineup.
Hey.
It didn't last long.
We just got told if Eric takes his shirt off, Michaela will subscribe through Amazon. Take your shirt off. I don't want to go to work. Take your shirt
I
off.
don't like being objectified. I feel dirty now.
Good.
You don't have
Stop
to,
staring at me,
Michaela.
guys. It's not happening.
Hey, Michaela, if you missed that part of the story, we'll have it up on YouTube later. You can go watch it later, and you'll see the whole thing.
I'd like to get to the end of this with my dignity intact. Thanks, guys.
Oh, it's gone before.
Oh, mate.
Well before.
Well, it's long gone.
Oh, it's on a knife's edge right now.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, Eric.
Here we go. We got
Tim Lewis just said, I'm sorry, Eric. Rules are rules. You must sacrifice yourself on the altar of the Perkins.
So now we're coming to the pointy end of this one. We do, and I promise we finish on a more light-hearted question.
We do.
But the penultimate question of the quick question quarter is: what is your most controversial musical opinion?
I can't say it
Silence is
online.
deafening.
No, you can't. No, look.
You absolutely
the whole
can.
Point of this is
That's
to
the
say
whole
it and
point.
then we can discuss it
Scotty, this is a safe space.
until it goes
It's
on
the
YouTube.
internet.
Except ignore Tim. This is a safe space. Okay.
Yeah.
You can admit that your favorite band and performer has always been Nikki Webster, and we won't judge you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
I've got two great stories about her, but anyway,
Oh wow, two.
Whoa. All right. Wait.
Is that for
Okay,
after? Is one for on stream and one's for after?
That's like we got to get those. We got to get back to those. No, just.
okay. Controversial musical opinion. The only thing I can think is like relevant now. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sleep Token or not. I know Eric obviously very much is. Everyone's getting angry at them because they've released an album lately, and all the gatekeeping metalheads are losing their minds over it. It's the same album as the first two. They're just horny now instead of just sad.
That's fair. Oh, that's a very good
Yeah.
analogy. I like that.
That's awesome. I mean, I haven't listened to much Sleep Token, but I do know they just dropped a new album, and that there's a bit of chatter around it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
They've
Fair
always
enough.
been sad. Metal heads are just angry. They're horny now. That's the thing that
Okay.
tipped them over. Yeah.
All right.
I'm horny.
I think Tim's horny in the chat. Jesus. Eric, your turn up. You're next up with the chopping block.
Man, I'm drawing a blank here.
You have no opinion about
well,
music
well-
that's contrary to the main. To
Well,
what
Hal
everyone else
Timler has
thinks.
just put one of his controversial music opinions in. I'm more than happy to share mine. All music made after 1981 must be cast into oblivion. I mean,
you're wrong.
yeah.
But-
really,
okay.
But I
yeah.
mean, but it's not cast into oblivion. Does he mean should be cast into oblivion?
Should be,
Well,
yes.
you
He
just-
says it should be.
Yeah, like, dude, no. No Corn, no Deftones. Go, no. Don't go away. Please stay.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same. What's the rest of the thing? Like,
Tim, you
I
need
mean,
to
yeah.
refine your semantics
Yeah.
because may implies that like it could or it could not. It should be. And you're right.
He's only saying it because Eric was born in 1981.
You weren't.
What do you say, 81?
81 or 89?
I think you meant
89.
89.
81?
You weren't
I said
born in
81.
81.
I was going to say 81. I'm looking pretty good for my age then.
I was going to say, fuck.
Mm.
Look at you.
Mate,
you got your
haven't
life
aged
together.
in
You
7
fucking,
fucking
yeah.
years, all
You a
right? You haven't
vampire?
aged since the Heavy Metal United show.
Neither of you
So,
guys.
You are
What the
looking
fuck?
Up.
It just shows metal doesn't age.
No,
It's
it doesn't.
timeless.
Doesn't. We just get real
It's,
slow.
it's good lighting for us, but no, for you, you're like. No.
He's weirdly ageless, isn't he?
He's a
I've always
vampire,
thought this
it's
about
like
him.
Keanu Reeves.
It's, yeah.
The fact that you believe me says all you need to go away.
I reckon.
don't-
I reckon once
don't
I hit
go
40,
away,
it'll be
just-
like
So
Meant to
come
watch
on,
them,
you
no,
got,
they
you gotta
don't.
have you gotta have some kind of opinion where you're just like a band everyone loves, and you're just like nah, or a band, an album that is like
I guess the probably only
A
thing
po-
is I don't get the fucking fuss behind I Prevail. Like people seem to sweat them, and anything I've heard from them is like
Meh.
meh.
it's pretty standard. I mean, like, there's about 10 bands around that sound exactly the same.
Yeah, like,
Like-
they're doing the same
Only
thing as
10?
every other.
Well, only 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
only 10.
just-
Just,
Yeah.
no, that's fair enough. That's
I
a good
like
one.
it.
That's a good one. All right, and last question here. This one's a bit more wholesome. If you could give your younger self one piece of music-related advice, what would it be?
Get a real job.
Oh.
Wow. Wow, you just went full dad mode on that, didn't you? Fucking hell.
Well, he's got the dad stash, so he's
Yeah.
got to go dad mode, right?
I feel like I'm in the Twisted Sister video clip. Is that a pin on your shirt? When are you gonna be a real man?
My one would be do more with less.
Ooh, I like that one.
When I was younger, I tried to do like everything.
Mhm.
So, and I just often think like if I'd been focused on less things, how much further I would have been able to take them.
No, that's fair enough. Instead of being a jack of all trades, maybe be a master of one. or
Exactly
two.
that, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Well,
fair enough.
Hal Timler's throwing it down. He goes, in all seriousness, about 50% of all metal bands created in the inner west in the last 20 years are indistinguishable from Rob Zombie.
That's yeah. I don't
That's a
think I
hot
can argue
take.
with that.
That's a hot
That's one
take.
of those mental wounds. That's one of those mental wounds you were talking about that aren't going to heal.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Gentlemen, if you just talk amongst yourselves for a couple of minutes, I need to step away for a second. I should be back.
And we got Michaela
momentarily.
Mayhem. I also volunteer to help Eric enter dad mode in real life. Wow. Wow.
Oh my god.
We do it all here at Two Dudes Talk Music. We talk music. We get people together. It's a process. It's all a process of love. I'll grab the turkey baster. Wow, Tim. Wow. Wow. We were trying to make love, and you just trying to artificially inseminate people. That's fantastic.
I think Michaela's got enough kids to occupy herself with at the moment. Anyway, she doesn't need more.
Oh.
Oh man, I'll tell you what.
Are you Central Coast shaming?
Me, never. I live here. I'm allowed to.
I lived there for 2 years. I'm an honorary ex-coastie.
So Scotty, did I hear you say you grew up in Western Sydney?
No, I actually grew up on the North Shore.
Oh, Northy boy. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was originally from Barara
Put the
Heights.
knife
which is
away,
basically-
Kyle. Put the knife away.
no, I'm from
Yeah.
that way, but no.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Barara Heights, which is like that really awkward gateway between the top of the North Shore and the start of the Central Coast.
Mm.
But yeah, like that's why I made a point of saying when I went to when I started off in heavy music, it was in Western Sydney, and I wasn't from there. Like I didn't understand I didn't understand hardcore when I started out that way. I rocked up for my band audition in like black skinnies, looking like I just walked straight out from first to last, and there's a bunch of guy in camo shorts looking at me going, "What you wearing?"
It's okay. I play good.
Yeah. I didn't really.
It's so funny though, the camo shorts, because Western Sydney hardcore bands, it was just camo shorts.
Oh, it was camo shorts and it had to be a black shirt. It couldn't be anything else, or a
Nah.
sleeveless shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't really understand breakdowns at that time because like in the music I was listening to, I came from like post-hardcore, and Under Oath was my favorite band at that time, which didn't really have breakdowns the way we think about them now. And learning like, oh wait, we all do this like chugging along with each other while the drums are doing it too. Like I didn't really understand that, and I'd never seen like mosh, like obviously I'd seen moshing, but like pitting before. I'd never seen that. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it was I bet you, like, after the first time it would have been a culture shock. The second and third time you were like, let's get into this shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hal Timlu said, I mean, in fairness, he looks exactly like he's from Barara.
Cheers, mate. What does someone from Brower look like? Tell me that. And don't say me.
You.
Oh.
You're the poster child now. You're the poster
Eric, I
child.
gotta ask. I don't know if you remember or not, Eric. When we did the Sterling Archer All Stars for that show in 2015, do you remember the original song that we did?
Yes,
that.
the one that Jonathan Devoy was meant to.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
for those,
yeah.
Devoy was obviously originally meant to do lyric vocals for that one, but Kyle did an amazing job with it. Still coming in the last minute and everything for sure.
think
Is
that's
that song ever going to see the light of day? Are you going to cannibalize any parts of that for Small Gods, do you think? If you need a demo, if you need a fucking recording, I've got an audio recording of it somewhere.
Can you send that to me? Because I don't know if I actually have that anywhere still. And
Yeah,
I would
I'll try
my
and
hands
dig
on
it out
again.
and send it to you, man.
That was a good
Yeah,
song.
please
got,
do. Please do.
I think I've got both versions actually, because I've got a jam from when we were in the rehearsal studio with Mr. Devoy's lyrics on it, and then I've also got the footage from the live show with Kyle's stuff on it.
Oh, send me
So-
I haven't seen the footage yet. Actually, please.
Really?
send me the
Oh
footage.
man,
Yeah.
I'll try and get some. It's only like it's only like GoPro footage from like my fucking GoPro, which was on my base for most of it. So but yeah, I'll try and get that footage across to you for
Yeah,
sure.
awesome, dude. That'd be mad.
Rightio. Are we ready to move on
Dude,
to,
we're always ready to move on. We got
to
it.
the fuck off files?
This. I fucking love this shit. Let's get into it. Let's do it. I'll hit the cutaway. Oh, wait.
Hit it.
I'll mute it. I'll mute.
Oh no!
What a
Oh
mute
no!
music.
What are you doing?
Cutaway.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right,
there we
now.
go.
Children, polite company, and people with weak dispositions should stop watching now. So it's time for the fuck off files, everybody's favorite segment, where we talk to our esteemed guests and we say, hey, if you could somehow collect all the Infinity Stones like Thanos and just snap your fingers and erase elements of the music scene or the music business out of existence, what would they be and why?
Scotty's on.
We
Scotty's on.
need three. We need three in total. So we'll grab. I don't know. We can grab. Tell you what. No. We'll do two from each of you. We'll do it that way.
Scotty's on. Go, Scotty.
Scotty's got one. I know Scotty's got one.
All right. MGK's influence on pop punk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really need why, but give us.
I don't think I need to explain why.
We all know.
Yeah. And is it a specific genre or just like
No,
an
literally
element?
anything, whatever you want.
Oh,
Any,
just
any big or small, you can wipe an entire fucking genre out of existence if you want, or you can pick one person and be like, fuck off. It doesn't matter.
Sad boy emo rap. It does nothing for me, and I think celebrates something that should not be, in my personal opinion.
Oh my fucking god. Tim.
Oh shit.
Tim.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Mate,
Uh-oh.
mate.
Oh,
I don't know if
no.
you can
What's he
read that
done?
out. I don't know if we can read that out
I'm,
on
go-
stream.
I'm not.
Jesus
I'm not gonna.
Christ.
I'm not gonna read out the last two lines. But Scotty's eyes just lit up at the power to erase things like Thanos. I haven't seen raw ambition like that since World War
I'm
II.
sure you can gather where that sentence ends. Wow.
He did it. He
Okay.
found the line. He found the line, everyone.
That's
Yeah.
I think this
Yeah.
podcast has officially peaked.
Wow.
Wow. We're never gonna get better than that. All right.
You're on fire, bro.
No, that's
Fuck.
very those are pretty good. I mean, look, not that it needs our approval. Like this is the fuck off files. This is
Yeah,
your
it's
guys'
all
entry.
you.
So, I mean, fuck. We've had all sorts of shit in here. We've had people say that fuck off slap bass. We've had people say that, fuck off all sorts of shit. It's
Chamberlain.
fucking Chamberlain boys. Jesus Christ.
And we're
Eric,
here every Thursday, Tim. So make sure you tune in, brother.
yeah. Every Tuesday, yeah, nice.
We're here every Thursday, bro. Tune in, please. Love the banter.
All right. My first one.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. Sea shanty folk metal.
Sea shanty folk metal.
Like,
Okay,
it's
so
been done to death.
Oh,
you can do
yeah.
more with folk metal than just do something fucking different. You sound like every other folk metal band out there. And you know what? There are some great folk metal bands out there that aren't doing that. Like, please, it could be a great genre, but so many bands just keep it stale by not innovating.
I'm going
That
to
one
say
you
folk
sent me,
metal is something I haven't delved into, and I don't think I want to. I think I'm going to leave that genre
was
up
a-
on the shelf. Over
There was a certain type that you sent me last week that is like jaw-droppingly bad. I felt offended just like watching it for the person involved.
Which one was this?
The dwarven metal one.
You sent me that.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you sent me
diggy,
that.
diggy
Someone,
hole. I am
Oh,
a
someone
dwarf and
said-
I'm digging a hole. Diggy
was
hole.
literally
Diggy,
it.
diggy hole.
literally, the lyrics were that,
Well,
but
yeah.
to
But
the like the
that's what I'm
melody and
talking
rhythm
about,
of a
like-
sea shanty thing.
Well, quite
Yeah.
clearly, you've upset Tim because he's like, you know what? Get absolutely fucked. That's the only thing that gets you through my day of running ships between Spanish Main and Garda.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm familiar with the, or I have at least heard of the like the dwarf metal stuff and the whole thing, and it's like it's fine, it's whatever. It's like people can like what they like and do that. I guess it's fine, I mean, I love going out there and fighting like fucking like J-pop metal and stuff. Like it's fucking whatever.
No more
Like-
sea shanty metal. Eric said.
No more sea shanty metal.
Yep, go on.
I love a good fusion, but yep, I've got to draw the line somewhere.
All right, no, fair enough. And what's your other one?
Oh, it's not a music thing per se, but music industry thing. Merch
Yep.
cuts at venues. That shit's got to go.
Yep.
We're
Yeah,
coming.
we've had that before. We've had that one before. We 100% agree. That's
Yep.
like
if
I
there's
said,
anything
Hey.
that's going to kill the industry and stop bands viably touring, I think that's going to be it.
I'll tell you
yeah.
what.
I mean,
Venues.
like I've said,
if you
I've said
want, if you
basically
want
before-
10% of the merch cut, we want 10% of the drinks.
It's a fair ask.
Yep.
We get the
I
people
mean, I've
through the
said-
door.
I've said the only time in my eyes I think it's justified is if they're supplying someone to sell the merch for you, and they then I'm like, all right, cool. Well, they're doing the merch stuff. They're going to be paid. I guess it makes sense in that situation. But
If it's one less thing for you to worry about, wholeheartedly.
yeah, like that's
There-
very
there's
fair.
gotta
But
be,
if there's
there's
but
going to
there
be a
has to be a line, and
justification
if they don't-
or
yeah,
reason
And if
why,
they're not
like
doing
an
that-
equal exchange.
And
yeah, and if,
it's
if they're
my
not doing
venue
that, then yeah.
is not a justification because it's
Correct.
their fans.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Problem
if
is-
you're going to play that tip for
Them-
tat shit and it's your venue, it's their fans, you get 10% of the merch, they get 10% of the drinks. It's only fair.
Yeah. Problem is when a venue forces their in-house merch person to do the sales and then demand a cut from that, they don't give a shit about what they're selling. They can sell one shirt or 100. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
So they don't
True.
care, and you're having to pay them to do something you didn't ask them to do. And
Yeah,
you have
no,
to
I get
pay
that.
your merch person, especially for a touring band, to have a day
Yeah.
off. That like, what do they do?
You look at the
Yeah.
whole Alpha Wheel thing that happened, I think it was last year, where they went and toured in the States, and they played a venue that had 20% merch cut, but they couldn't even get working aircon in their green room and on the
Yeah.
stage. Like that's insane. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I've long maintained that if I'm in a band and we show up to a venue, and obviously you generally want to know beforehand, you would usually know. But if I showed up to a venue and they're like, oh yeah, we take a merch cut, and they're like, all right, sorry guys, we're not selling merch tonight. Like, and I would say that to the fans. I'd say, look, normally we'd be selling merch, we'd be plugging all our merch for you guys, but this venue would want to take a cut, so fuck them. If you want to buy our shit, we've got a web store you can go to, or you can come and see us out in the parking lot, and we'll sort you out. Because there's no way in hell I'm giving a venue 10% of merch that they have nothing to do with.
Yeah, and I hope you know what? I hope more bands do that sort of thing, because half the problem when these exploitative practices come in, there's so many bands that just cop on the chin and accept it because they're too scared to lose venue supply out or burn bridges or anything like that. No, fuck that.
The venue will
this
burn
is something where
itself
we need to
out.
draw the line. Yeah, exactly.
The venue will burn itself out eventually. What
Exactly.
and how Timler? Why don't we just agree that we don't need venues at all? All gigs must be performed at hippie communes without running power or water. You know what?
Yeah.
How Timler? If you like the sound of that idea, you should check out Jim Nub Rocks in Queensland. It's
Yeah,
kind of
Queensland
like a
boy, you
hippie
can do it.
commune, but there's running water and really good bands. Oh,
Yeah.
what a coincidence! And Michaela has put, what a coincidence. As a Central Coast resident, my bedroom hasn't got power or water. Small gods.
Ah, lovely. And I've just realised. Thank you for that, gentlemen. Those are very good contributions to our Hall of Shame. And I just realised I missed one of the questions in the quick question quarter. I completely forgot it. I skipped over it somehow. I was so eager to get through everything. And I don't look at Scotty, after what you mentioned, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this one or not, but I was just going to say, who is a band or artist that you're listening to right now that you believe is seriously underrated and needs more attention?
Oh. Silent Planet. Not so much. Okay, maybe not so much underrated because everyone who knows them loves them, but underexposed for sure.
Yeah, nice.
Did you say Silent Planet?
Yeah. This
Okay,
is
nice.
this is one of Eric and I's biggest influences on Small Gods.
Oh, nice.
For sure.
Wonderful.
Oh, huge, yeah.
Eric.
Eric, you checking your Spotify?
He is.
I am checking my Spotify.
I was,
actually,
just,
because
I was just about
come
to say
across
that
I
so
can
many
see
songs.
it.
I was just about to say that the first ones that haven't gone to the Spotify. Scott, you're fantastic. Go
Yeah,
you.
everyone,
Go
we do
you.
this. Everyone's immediately like, oh, who can I see?
Go you, Scott.
Scrolling through that
First one-
shit.
You're the first one that hasn't looked at their Spotify.
Oh, good.
No, we like this one though because we like to try and get a bit of exposure as well to other
Yeah.
bands and be like, what we expand our own minds and our own taste because I love always finding new stuff. I love finding stuff that's pushing the boundaries or something that's a little bit different to what else I've been listening to lately. So I'm always on the lookout for new bands to check out.
Close your eyes and just pick one, Eric.
I was going to say, I think the first one that comes to mind here, and I'm not plugging these guys simply because their guitarist recorded us, but Inertia. How these guys aren't bigger than what they are.
Hey,
Listening to some of their stuff lately.
Inertia, I fucking love Inertia. Like, when I heard you guys, I want to see you guys open for Inertia. That was the first thing that came to mind. I went, these guys need to play with Inertia.
That would be such a interesting coming around. So when Inertia started, I was their first drummer. Like Mark, the producer, is one of my longest, and like we've been friends forever. We lived together for the longest time. I was the drummer in the early days, and we opened for the Arbitrary Methods EP release show.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like what, 8 years ago.
So is that-
Roundabouts.
Is that okay? So is the singer? Is that singer always been in Inertia?
No,
I thought so because he's new. He's newish. Not new, but
he's the second vocalist.
It's
yeah.
like trying to figure out a family tree in Alabama a little bit, isn't it?
it is
A little bit,
it's
yeah.
very inbred.
Oh, you talking about New South Wales metal? It's just
It's
saying
so
just
inbred. It's so
Yeah.
inbred.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it's like we're all interrelated. Like our connection to our producers, because like we all know each other and Like we see each other everywhere. We're all mates helping each other out.
It's good.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I'd love to see
That's
that.
awesome. That'd be
Yeah, it makes sense to me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you got the
I'd love to
connection
do
there.
it.
You know, got the connection there. Make
Yeah.
it
You're
happen.
already
You gotta
halfway there.
make
You
that
already know people.
make that the debut show. Make that the debut show, guys. Get them on the headline.
Just get them to
Put them on the headline. Pop
Yeah.
you guys just
I'll
before.
message Mark about it right now and tell it. Put us on a show, you dog.
And then you know what you can do? You can ask them to answer back my message when I fucking ask them to come on Beer Buddy and get them to either come on this or Beer Buddy. I'll take either fucking one because I want them on.
Okay.
I want them fucking
Uh,
on. Inertia.
Timmy, with the absolute truth here, the New South Wales metal scene is worse than a European royal family in terms of people interbreeding. To be honest,
My
hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the
That
head,
is some
mate.
tru-
Although, if you go down to fucking Canberra, it's
Oh.
like
It'd be so much worse.
you get that
Yeah, but-
Louis, you get that
Hey.
Louis the 14th like inbred chin happening. In
Nah,
the
that's look. It ain't big enough for cousins. It's when you start getting brothers and sisters.
There's like 10 people in Canberra.
yeah.
I love Canberra. I love it.
No, it's great. It really is. Like, love going down to Canberra. It's been way too long since I've been down there.
Yeah.
Like,
Basement's a sick venue. I always love going
Basement's
down
got a
there to play the
fucking
basement.
video wall on their stage now.
What?
Like, what the hell? Yeah.
Wow.
Raph.
It's like a giant video LED screen across
Raph.
the back of the stage there. Think about what? Sorry, Cop. Think about all the incredible graphics you guys can run behind yous playing on that fucking stage. Like,
Story,
that
we
has to
might
be
have a
filmed.
job for you.
Do you reckon?
That
do you
has to be
reckon we
filmed
could-
for live content.
Do you reckon we could ask the basement if we did a live stream out of there one weekend?
Oh, mate.
That would be loose.
We'd have to put on we'd have to make it part of a show, like put on a show and have
Maybe we can
you know, like,
organise
we're
our own.
hosting the show.
Maybe we
you
can
know?
organise our own show. Just pick a couple of bands.
All right.
Something
Hey,
like that.
I'll be back in a minute. I've got to run off.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, sure
Go
thing.
for it.
Yeah, we could probably do that. I reckon. You know, try and hook up a show, get some cool bands on, host it, do like
Pull
a,
some of the old connects.
maybe do a live stream from down there. That'd be that'd be messy.
That'd be yeah.
That'd get very very messy.
I need at least need 3 days, especially after
Mate,
a
the way,
run. The Ron
the way
Jeremy.
we're going, we need a week. We need a week to fucking recover
Yeah.
from that. Jeez.
Did you ever get the Ron Jeremy at the basement?
No. What the fuck is the Ron Jeremy?
You never got the Ron Jeremy shot.
No.
Oh, Trevor. Trevor, the old big bartender. Was it Trev?
Trevor or Trent?
Trent. Sorry,
Trent,
Trent. Yeah. But he goes, come on, we'll give you a shot. It's called a Ron Jeremy. So I'm like, I'm down. You know, Ron Jeremy, legend, the hedgehog himself. So what it is, they pour the shot, and then what you got to do is they put a bit of whipped cream on the end of the spoon, and you got to have the shot open your mouth, and they flick the whipped cream in your mouth. But here's the clincher, right? So you have the shot, and you're going like this, but instead of flicking it in your mouth, he flicks it in your eye.
Yeah.
So the Ron
Yeah.
for all you people out there, you'll know. If you know, you know. But the only problem is when it hits you in the eye, and then you got to go on stage and sweat it out. All you can smell is rotting cream in your tear duct,
Oh, yuck. No, I've got
which wasn't
the
great.
sh-
While you're trying to like breathe and sing and all
Breathe
you're
and sing,
smelling
yeah.
is rotting cream and yeah,
there's fucking the shit down in Canberra. Like okay, so Eric, I don't know when the last time you were down in Canberra was at the basement, but
Long time ago.
have you been you've been there since they did the reno and had everyone like signing above the bar and shit?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that kind of became a thing for a while, and they're kind of like obviously eventually they ran out of space and stuff. But like, when I started playing bass for Acid Nip, and we went down there, they were like, "Oh, you got to put your name on sign your name on there," because Acid Nip had already signed it, right? All the the lineup, and they're like, "Oh, fucking." Sign it, get up there and sign it. So I'm like, but I'm like, but your old bass player's already signed it. And they're like, oh, no, fuck. They're like, fuck that. Get up there and do it. I was like, a few drinks in, as you tend to, you tend to get a bit
At the basement.
bit more easily influenced at the basement. Yeah, fucking pretty. And so I was up on top of this ladder, and I was too tipsy to be climbing that high on a fucking ladder. Number one. And I'm like, oh, should I start? And they're like egging me on to like cross the old guy's name out and write mine there and shit. I'm like, oh, fuck it. And like, I was drunk and fucking stupid and shit. So I was like, there's footage of me somewhere, and I'm like, fuck you, old bass player, and like scribbled his fucking name right out. I wrote mine up there. And like, I feel awful about it now. I feel really bad because I'm like, oh, I should have just added mine there and been done with it or whatever. But I was getting, and I don't want to put it on other people like they were egging me on and stuff. And or whatever. Like I still did that shit. So, and I feel bad about it. I do. So if it ever makes it back to that, I do apologize. I wasn't, it was a younger me. I was being a dick.
And Australian
and
peer
sorry.
pressure hits different.
It does.
It does.
does.
Australian peer pressure hits so
But,
much different.
I'm disappointed you didn't lean into it more. Say, fuck you. And also, I don't know your name.
No, I know his name. I'm not going to say it just
No,
because
we're
I
not
don't
gonna
want
do
to
that.
spark.
No,
I
I
don't
just,
wanna-
yeah.
But, but like, the amount of,
At least you didn't
Yeah.
go full, like, I was six, like, they got me to do it, right? And I'm dyslexic, and when I'm drunk, I'm double dyslexic. And I spelled thanks, I spelled it TANHKS.
wow,
I hope that's still not up there.
Okay.
I'm hoping
Probably
they
is.
painted over it. I thought,
probably is.
fuck.
No, but like, like that's a venue that's always looked after us when we've gone down there.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we might have been saved by a fucking ad. So only the subscribers might have got that one. Oh, until it's on YouTube. Anyway.
But you know what though? Like one of probably my fondest memories at the base was the arbitrary method, acid nymph, exist within. Oh,
By the Horns, wasn't it?
Yes, that
Yep.
was the one by the horns. That was probably like.
By
yeah.
the horns. They're not still going, are they?
No, I actually
No.
got in contact with Reese for something a little while ago.
Because they were getting a lot of traction. That was a name I
They
was hearing
were,
all over
they
the
were.
place for a while.
They were.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but no, Canberra's a fucking I think if we ever were to do a special live fucking thing, that might be the way to go.
yeah, maybe
It's always a
Maybe-
party down there.
Maybe have us set up in the smaller room, streaming out from there, and then we talk between bands, and then go out and like live stream the band
Yeah.
sets for the thing. Maybe that's an idea.
we could do it.
Maybe that's an idea. Rightio. Well, is there? So there's not really anything specific in terms of dates to promote for Small Gods coming up.
No,
is there?
not yet.
Nah, watch this
Unfortunately.
space.
What you
Go and follow
I
the
love that
social medias.
line. Oh, you're a singer now. Watch this space.
Big things
Go on.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's all right. Just don't forget to announce your announcement. All right.
yeah.
Yeah, but we got to announce the announcement of
Yeah.
the announcement first as well.
Hey,
Yeah.
guess what?
all right.
Big
Make sure-
announcement.
keep-
announcement coming Wednesday.
Keep your eyes on our page for fucking Friday or whatever, like, and then it's like,
Oh.
all right, next Friday we got a big announcement coming. Yeah. But
And then you got to have the post that's like, well, what do you think about this announcement or this announcement?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so follow Small Gods on all the all the social media networks. You know where it's all at. Go and check
Oh.
out Phobos on YouTube, Spotify, all that good shit.
And if you haven't seen Phobos yet, we hope like you guys don't mind if we just play the lyric video at the end of the stream
No,
tonight.
go for it, please
Perfect.
do.
Thank you.
Yes, hang around. We'll pop that on at the end of the stream as well. So yeah, don't go anywhere. When we finish that. Yeah, and follow. Give us a follow again. Thank you to all of our new followers and subscribers.
Yeah, you
and
guys
thank
pumped
to-
tonight. You guys are absolutely turned up for this. Good on you, Small Gods,
Yes,
and good on you, all the
yes.
fan base.
Thank you, Tim,
Thanks,
for
guys.
being so active in the chat
Yeah,
and giving us a bunch of
fantastic.
good laughs. That's awesome. Massive thank you to Scotty and Eric for coming on here, mate. It's so hard for me to remember that your name's Eric, by the way, because you've changed it for so long on Facebook, and I'm just like, it's Eric, right? It's Eric. I can almost
Yeah,
couldn't
It's,
even
it's
remember.
like that. There's a few people that don't.
Isn't
don't
that right,
actually know my
Seraph?
name.
Yeah. Changed my name how many fucking times? But yeah, so what we'll do next week, I think we've got a big one coming up next week. I'll double check that. And in 2 weeks' time, now, if you've been following the channel for a little while, you may know back at the end of the year, we had a little special New Year's stream. We kind of got a whole bunch of people on at once. Just had a bit of fun, chilled out, shot the shit, had some drinks, whatever. 2 weeks is going to be our 1 year anniversary of doing this shit. So we're going to have a little party. We're going to do that. We're going to have a whole bunch of people come on. Maybe not as long as the last one, because it will still be on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And we're going to have
We've
work,
gotta
the next day. And everything.
day.
But we'll have a lot of fun nonetheless. So tune in for that one. That will be live stream only. You will not be able to catch that one on the YouTube afterwards. So make sure
it's
you're
not
tuning in
safe
for
for
that one.
YouTube at all, those ones.
Give us a follow on Twitch, on Facebook, so you can keep up to date with everything. We will be making an announcement shortly about next week's guests. And yeah, any last minute stuff you guys want to plug, or you just keep an eye on the socials and all the news will be coming out there.
Yeah, pretty much. Just
Yeah.
on behalf of Scotty and I, thanks so much for having us on. It's been a lot of fun tonight.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
Anytime you guys want to come on and
appreciate
talk about stuff, please let us know. We're more than happy to do that. Feel free. Thank you again to all of our viewers. And look, I know we touched on some kind of dark subject matter today for a little bit, but as we said, look, if you are needing to reach out to anybody, please do so. We all try and encourage being as kind as possible to those around us and to ourselves, because the world's been really crazy for especially the last few years. It's getting crazier. It feels like we're all kind of going off the rails a bit. So make sure you take time to look after yourselves. It's very important. We want all you here for a very, very long time to come. So thank you very much to everyone tuning in. We will be playing a short ad, and then we will be going to the video for Phobos, or the lyric video for Phobos from Small Gods. Thank you again, boys. Very much appreciate it.
See you next
Thanks,
week,
guys.
y'all.
Yeah.
What is going on, you legends? Tonight's stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Yes, that's right, Raid Shadow Legends. So tonight they will be sponsoring our stream. This is a free-to-play game on PC and mobile. Top 3 RPG games actually on mobile at the moment with over 15 million downloads. There's more than 600 different champions to collect and customize. It's a free-to-play game, amazing graphics, and all the gameplay you can think of. It's absolutely amazing. New champions every month. This thing gets updated regularly. So very, very good. If you click on any of the links in the description or in the little animation in the corner of the screen during the stream, you'll get free stuff. And if you use the code Raid Madness, a special promo code for new players only, you'll get some free stuff once you hit level 15. When you use the link, you get heaps of free stuff. You get a Grumbler, an epic champion, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So big shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring tonight's stream. And without further ado,